your girl, Sidnee Michelle from Black Enterprise, back again with another episode of Lights, Camera, Business. No introduction is needed. I mean, Grammy-winning style icon and now leading actress Kelly Rowland has joined us today. Thank you, Kelly, for sitting down with us today.
Thank you so much for that introduction. You just made me go, oh, that's another thing to add.
I mean, really, come on. Cool. We need to, what is it?
Really cool.
EGOT? We need to start working on now that we're getting into this acting.
From your lips to God's ears.
Amen. I'm a big manifest queen.
So. Yes.
Let's put that out there. Kelly is the lead actress of Mea Culpa, which is an amazing new film that's coming out. I want to get into it. I want to get into Kelly Rowland, the actress. Tyler Perry, who was the writer and director, said that he came up with this film based off of 90s thriller films, how fun they are. There's so many twists and turns, and they're just a lot of fun.
They are.
Tell me about what's it like getting back into the thriller genre after you did Freddy vs. Jason in 2003. We remember that.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about putting those shoes back on.
I mean, when you think about Mea Culpa, it has erotic in the front of it, erotic thriller. And when you think about, Freddy versus Jason is just a thriller. Mm-hmm. And I think that, two completely different lanes, but still definitely keeps you on the edge of your seats. And I like that aspect of it. I think that there's a lot, for me, I like spontaneity. And I like the unexpected. Okay. I like that. When even Tyler presented this whole idea to me with Mea Culpa, it actually happened. I was at the Waco Gala in 2022, I believe it was. It was the end of the year. And I remember Tyler said, Mia. He literally called me Mia.
Okay.
And I said, who? He was like, you got to read the script. And he told me he just finished it. And he just seemed so excited about this film. And to be honest, when he said erotic thriller, I was like, oh no, that scares me. You know what I mean?
I can imagine. It's intimidating.
Yes, it's very intimidating. And so, I got on the phone with him. I tried to think of ways to say no because I was so scared. And the more I spoke to him, the more I actually thought to myself, if I'm going to do this with anybody, I feel comfortable doing it with him. So my gut was like, it's okay.
Yes.
And so I trusted that. And I also asked him, I said, could I produce it too?
Yes.
Because I'm so intrigued by that space as well. And he was like, absolutely. It was like nothing. You know what I mean? So we worked together and just bringing this character, Mia, as a defense attorney and being so headstrong and strong, period, and very sure of herself. But then having these moments, where she's just, you'll have to watch it.
We'll have to watch it. Stay tuned.
You'll have to watch it. But she's such an interesting, complex character. She's so human. And it was really a lot of fun. Yeah. It was a lot of fun. I strongly suggest every one of you out there, become an erotic thriller character in the movie.
give you a little spice. But I want to talk about that.
Yeah.
My next question is just about how liberating and sexy this character was. And it goes into, in my opinion, the duality of Black women, especially. Going from the boardroom to home to the bedroom. We do it all. And I feel like we just wear so many hats so effortlessly. And I feel like your character, that's what she gave. She gave boss women, but then I'm like, boss women, but I'm like, okay, she's turning it up at home. Talk to me about us as Black women being multifaceted, being able to do it all effortlessly though.
Here's the thing about Black women. I just feel like even when we're figuring out the space, we get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we're like, I don't know what quite to do there. I know what to do here. I'm clueless here, but I'm going to figure this out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have no choice. I think that our ancestors had no choice but to figure it out. So I think that nowadays, we literally will see what's coming ahead and we'll literally strategize and put a plan into action and figure it out.
Yeah. And how we can do it the best.
Absolutely.
I really loved that about your character because I feel like sometimes we only see the businesswoman. We don't see her getting to be sexy and getting to be liberated. Or we see the flip side of that, someone who's extremely liberated, but doesn't have that business aspect. So I feel like that was a perfect character for you. And you did it so well.
Thank you.
Did it so well. Speaking of duality of Black women, I know you as the producer wanted to incorporate wardrobe as a major factor. And I just loved your character's wardrobe. It only makes sense because you're one of the flyest out there. I'm just going to say it, guys. But tell me about that, especially you being a producer on it. Was wardrobe and something... Was it something that kind of contributed to her character and to the essence of her character?
Well, the interesting part is like Tyler and I both share that love of 90s thrillers, you know? And when I think about a movie such as Single White Female, for instance, I think about the fact that, you know, I loved the 90s wardrobe. It was so effortless. It was so chic. It was fly. And we were both, you know, in agreement that the wardrobe should be, you know, something that sticks out for these characters. They look beautiful. They're, you know, Black and savvy and like, you know what I mean?
Moisturized.
Moisturized. And they're fly, you know? So I liked that, that was something that we totally agreed upon. And he was just as excited as I was.
Yes. And I was so happy to see that, because sometimes in films, characters are almost dressed down just to try and fit the character, but I feel like it was such a good pairing. It was amazing to see on screen.
But it was also like the stylists wanted to do that too. You know, I think that if there's one thing I learned from Tyler, and even just my space of, you know, videos and such, like everybody has a job, and in their job they have to be passionate. You know what I mean? Everybody like plays a role in that film, and the stylist and you know, the story that we were telling, like it was like very cohesive story. So it was really cool. So,
it really brought it all together. I love saying it. I'm like, I need this, I need all of these in my closet.
Shout out to Ray Collins.
Shout out to her. I wanted to ask about your character and different ways you related to her. Initially, you know, Black enterprise, we love to talk about business and things like that. But I wanted to just ask about your character as the head of the household. I feel like a great thing that Tyler Perry does do in his films is show Black women in that light. Talk to me about that, because how important do you think that is, that we continue to show especially Black women as heads of household, as someone who's taking care of business financially or not? Just talk to me about how Tyler continues to push that narrative, because I feel like we don't see it enough. And I love seeing it. I love seeing it.
I mean, I feel like in a lot of his films, we see that, you know, and I think that it's something that he wants to shine light on. And I think that when you do, it helps us, you know, understand it in a different kind of space. It helps the world understand it, especially when so many people are watching it. It brings up the conversation and allows us to talk about it. So I think that that's the healthy part of it, in being able to have all these conversations where everybody is speaking about it. And it becomes like, I don't want to say a normal, but it's like a thing. You know what I mean? And it's celebrated, and it's, you know, if it's in film and, you know, TV, it's glamorized.
It is.
And it's something that people respect.
Definitely. And I love how Netflix, you know, it's a worldwide network. So people who are maybe not even familiar with our culture are going to see these things and these images. And I think that's amazing. It's very important for them to see. I wanted to ask about just you stepping into acting. I'm super excited to see what's next. We got to focus on what's now, but Kelly as the actress, talk to me about that, about the pivot that you're doing. We all know Kelly as this music superstar, but tell me about Kelly as the actress, especially in leading roles. I'm so excited to see you in more leading roles, and you did such an amazing job on this one. Talk to me about that. Is it intimidation a little bit? Is it like, I have to live up to someone or another that maybe you admire? Or is it like, this is my space and I'm going to do the best I can at it?
Absolutely. I mean, I think about artists, actors, such as Angela Bassett, Divine Joy. Oh my goodness. Journey Smollett, I remember looking at as early as Eve's Bayou and just watching performances over and over and over again that I'm like, oh my gosh, how? Wow. How did she do that? You know what I mean? I've always been like, I can sit and watch movies all day. And I think I'm just now starting to put the pieces together. I think that when we're able to have one space of art, like we get so blessed to have another opportunity to have another place to showcase art. And whether it's writing or directing or starring in or producing, you get to try it and see, does this fit? Yeah. You know what I mean? And for me, it's not just about a fit. It brought me joy.
I love that.
It brought me joy and it brings me joy. And I remember at one point in time, I was so nervous because I think that in the entertainment business as a whole, it's like, well, if you do this, there's only one girl who could be at the top, or if you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And even in this business and film and TV, I remember hearing actresses in particular, even more particular, Black actresses, that could only be one. And I'm like, that's not true. And they're all, everyone is starting to see that it doesn't have to be like that. And the more content and stories there are to tell, the more colorful this space is, because how many stories are there to tell? And we have great spaces like Netflix who are like, yeah, we want to hear all. Let's go. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Like, let's do that.
In every space. So I just feel like there is space for everyone. Absolutely. I finally understand that concept, and to where that didn't intimidate me. I didn't feel like, well, I don't want anybody to think, oh, here comes a singer coming to act. No, because I know actresses who sing their face off.
Yes, they do.
You know what I mean?
They go back and forth.
Is space for everybody.
I mean, the Jamie Foxxes of the world, the Will Smiths of the world. I mean, I just feel like you said, it's so much room for all of us. I really love how you're tapping into this. And I will say this, we have our talent that they try and go back and forth and doesn't always hit. I mean, you're acting from the emotions to the feel-good scenes.
Thank you.
You did that.
Thank you.
You really did that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I can imagine, I always end my interviews with asking my amazing guests we always talk about business and professional wins. I'd like to ask, what is your top business and professional win, but also a personal win? Because I feel like both are important, especially in this day and age. That work-life balance is super important. Tell me, if you had to pick two, your top professional business win and your top personal win for so far, for Kelly Rowland in 2024. I know it's hard to pick.
No, it's actually, for me right now in my life, it's not.
Okay.
Because I think that my professional and my personal win is just being authentic. I think that when I can just, be myself and work hard and have fun while I'm doing it, I win at both. Amen. You know what I mean? I win because then I'm not doing something that doesn't bring me joy. Because I think that if I wasn't doing something that brought me joy, I might not be the nicest person at home. Do you know what I mean?
That's a good point.
So I like having fun, because then my kids get to see me be happy in doing something that I love in my occupation, because then I want them to make the same choices.
I love that.
No matter what they do. So I think my professional win is my joy. And then when my kids see me winning in that space, hopefully they make the right decision and do the things that bring them joy too.
I love that. I just rapped with a Rev 1 last week, and he said you can really tell when someone is doing something for money or for finances and when they're doing something because they love it.
Yeah.
He was like, if I had turntables out there right now, I'll go scratch right now and not get paid a dime for it. But it goes back to your point. The talent comes out and the joy comes out when you really love what you're doing.
Absolutely. We get the best versions of ourselves when we see everyone do that.
Exactly.
And I have to say, on this set, I watched everyone from Tyler to the team that he assembled to the people that he got involved in the movie, the studio, and like everybody has loved their job. That is so rare to see. You know,
it's like no bad energy on set.
It was no bad energy. And, you know, there can definitely be tough times on set. And even when there are, or even when they did present themselves, everyone wanted to still be the best versions of themselves, or they would excuse themselves if so. Like I watched so much Professionalism, and that was one of the best things I think I took from Mia Culpa.
I love that.
Was assembling a team that is passionate, hardworking, and professional, and wanted to be just really show up for Mr. Perry, and that was very impressive.
Well, I will say, everything you just said, it translated on screen.
Thank you.
I mean, we never know what goes on behind the scenes. Yeah. I can imagine it could get crazy.
I just told you. That's it. It was what it was.
Yeah.
And, you know, he definitely, Tyler wants you to be the best version of yourself, but it's because he sees it in you, and he'll push you. And that was a good thing. I'm glad he pushed me out of my comfort zone, because that's when growth takes place.
It sure does.
Yeah.
And I mean, you out of your comfort zone in this film was perfect.
Oh, thank you. I was scared AF.
I can imagine being the leading lady in a genre that's not necessarily common.
Yeah, but it should be. I think erotic thrillers are so fun.
They are fun,
spontaneous,
and like sexy and dark.
Yes, I think that some of those moments are definitely necessary. They allow us to. I mean, if I'm being very transparent, just to fantasize. And what's wrong with having a fantasy?
Nothing at all.
And exactly. So yeah, go for it.
Just to wrap, I really love what you just said about us having that sexy, that eroticism that may not be a big part of our lives, but it's there.
Yes.
Talk to me just about the similarities between you and your character.
Oh my goodness. Well,
besides being beautiful and stylish and everything,
Miss Mia was living on the edge.
Yes, she was. We're not going to give it away yet, but she was living a life.
Miss Mia was living on the edge.
Because we're used to seeing, you as this exemplary businesswoman and superstar, and Kelly the mom, which we all love to see. We turned up the heat a little bit this time.
Well, I mean, Mia is Mia and I am me.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And we're two different people. But I will say, stepping into her space was definitely a roller coaster, because some of the things that she experienced and emotions that she experienced, like I had to tap into some anger that Tyler had to really actually pluck out of me. You know what I mean? And I was just amazed. But as far as her desire and the fantasy of it all, I think that we all have a piece of that in us. And I think that sometimes it's like, shh, don't talk about that.
It's very deep
You know
inside.
what I mean? But I think that sensuality of Mia's that needed to be seen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I love my husband for making me feel seen.
I love that.
And alive. And that sensuality is always ignited with him. I just think he's the flyest dude I know.
Oh yeah, we see it in the pictures. I'm they just look steamy and everything.
So yeah, I mean, I don't want to give too much away.
Yeah, we won't give too much away.
Yeah.
So just tell me what's next. Kelly
next?
The actress. Tell me what's next. I hope there's something next.
I'm working on things right now.
Okay. In acting.
I'm working on things.
Okay.
You see,
I tried.
I know, but I'm working on things right now, and I'd like to keep it like that. I like for when it's done, whatever it is, then it comes out and it's there.
Are you excited for him?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm excited for you, Kelly.
Thank you so much.
I like I said, I'm a 90s girl, so I've been a fan for decades now. But seeing you really step into this space in a role that could be tricky, in a role that could mess up the best of actresses, you really did an amazing job.
I appreciate
That's why I asked what's next, because I need to see more. I need to see more leading roles. I need to see more.
Thank you.
So On behalf of Black Enterprise, thank you for everything you've done for the culture, for us as women.
I appreciate that.
And I can't wait to see leading actress Kelly Rowland.
Me too. And thank you to the women that always inspire me.
Yes,
it's so funny because I hear that all the time, but I'm always inspired by women, period. And whether it's a wardrobe or a conversation or a quote, or just like one-on-one time, like somebody was like, you just talk to anybody. I said, because everybody has something important to say.
Sure do.
So I don't want to miss out on moments with people. And I like to take those like when I can, because they're nuggets and you just never know what gem you're going to get from someone. So I treasure my moments that I have with women when they are one-on-one and sacred, for sure.
Oh, we appreciate that, because you are one of the women that we look up to, and you're one of our inspirations. So
thank you.
It's a chain. It just keeps, it keeps going and going and going. Isn't that the truth? All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We are so blessed to be sitting next to Kelly Rowland. Until next time, it's Lights, Camera, Business.